Hey, I'm Connor Boney, the president of Revere Meat Company. We're here today starting something new, kind of an inside peek at the business that we run and who we are. It's important for us that you know how we do things and what we're made of inside. So we're starting something new with this interview series, and Jeff Bell is with me today. He's the first one and one of our sales reps here. Now the second most tenured sales rep, doing the most business in the streets of Atlanta. Jeff, thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely, glad to be here.
I appreciate you taking the time to do that. Jeff, tell us a little bit about yourself. Maybe just where you got to before you started Revere. What was life like? What were you up to then?
So I've been obviously with Revere for about 5 years now. Prior to that, I was a chef here in Atlanta at a local seafood restaurant. Had just kind of spent my entire life in the restaurant and hospitality industry. So I guess my relationship with Revere started out on the customer side, which led to the opportunity, to come on board and join the team.
Sure. What did you think of Revere when you're out there? Definitely buying from a few different people. You had opportunities. Why us?
I knew that. I always knew there was something different about Revere. My sales rep at the time, me and him had a great relationship, and he was always there to, bail me out when I was in trouble, or keep me in the loop of industry trends, market trends, things that were happening behind the scenes that I might not have been aware of. So he would just always pass that knowledge along to me to make sure that I was at the forefront of upcoming trends in the culinary industry.
Sure, it's super important, right? I mean, being a chef is one thing about price and product, but then being able to look ahead and know, I need to change this up, or this market's about to run and I can't do that.
Right.
It's important.
And I think, being a chef, or from my experience being a chef, looking back on it, it's easy to get pigeonholed and into your day-to-day operations and what you're doing and, busting out your menu, and you kind of lose focus on what's happening in the outside world. So it's good to have, someone bring that information to you that you might not necessarily have the time to go out and seek yourself.
Sure. Well, look, I think it's important for us as a part of the industry in our process of trying to be different is not just to sell product, it's to be guys and gals that can give information to help you not just focus on what's right in front of you, but what's coming down the road. Talk to me about why you're in the chef industry for a while, you're in the kitchen. Why did you want to make a change, and why sales?
Well, I mean, for me personally, it was a quality of life change that I wanted to make. I had been in the restaurant industry since I was 14 years old. So I was working those nights, weekends, holidays, 100-hour work weeks, day in, day out. And I just reached a point in my personal life where I really wanted to make a change and start a family and build, more meaningful, lasting relationships. And getting out of the restaurant industry, but still staying in it at the same time. So coming on to Revere, it gave me the opportunity to still pursue my passion, which is food.
Sure.
But not have to do the day in and day out daily grind that a chef puts in, which is a lot of work.
Sure. Well, did you think it was going to be easy to get into sales, or
No.
did it hit you on the head when you started?
It was, I thought it would be easy, because I'm a chef, I know the product, I know what I'm doing, I can go out.
You're a
and sell.
decent guy, you can relate to
sometimes. So I thought it would be easy, but I was not aware and didn't know how much this job does entail. As far as product knowledge and, like I mentioned earlier, the market trends and, just building those relationships. Anybody can go out there and sell a product, but actually building relationships with your customers and your clients. I think, to me, I didn't realize how important that was until I was actually living it.
Sure. What do you think makes you more successful in the sales position here at Revere versus potentially somewhere else? What is it about Revere that helps you be a better salesperson?
Well, it's all of the support that we have as a sales rep. We're not just put out on the streets, left to fend for ourselves. Everybody here at the office and the warehouse, has our backs, and we can pick up the phone and call any of the owners, buyers, suppliers. We have direct access to any of the information we need on a daily basis. There's never been anything that I needed or asked for that hasn't been, given to me.
Sure. Where did your passion to be a Florida Gator fan come from?
I don't even know how to answer that.
Is that
Go
not
Dogs.
True? Go Dogs. Okay,
Yeah.
So good. Tell me about Revere in your words. What's the brand Revere mean to you?
To me, it means family. It's, I know that's cliche to say, but it's the truth. I think, in the 5 years that I've been here, we've been through some ups and we've been through some downs, but we've all stuck together, through the lowest of the lows and the hardest of times, through the global pandemic when all the restaurants and, across the country were shutting down and we weren't sure what we were going to do the next day, the next week, the next month, but we all banded together and, we overcame. And I think those of us that have done that together, we will have a bond that'll last forever.
Sure. Being in sales and being in this industry on itself is not easy. It's not a rainbow and butterfly job. It's long hours and it's difficult. What are the parts of the actual business that you enjoy? What really gets you excited to wake up in the morning and go out there?
For me, my biggest thing is, like I mentioned, building those relationships with the chefs where I'm an extension of their restaurant. So even though I'm no longer a chef working and cooking in a kitchen on a daily basis, I still have the opportunity to collaborate with some of the best chefs in the country, are here in Atlanta. To be able to have that relationship with them and for them to come to me for ideas of specials and menu development and things of that nature. I still get to pursue my passion, which is creating and food, the whole culinary arts. But just to have that relationship with them, whereas, it's not, I didn't just cut myself off from what I loved.
Sure, totally. I mean, it definitely leads you to be in a good position to be relatable to the chefs that you're trying to sell.
Right. And it's, something like the weekend specials, for a chef to call me up and ask, what we got cool in the back of the house or some new cuts of beef or special fish. And I throw these ideas out at him and we bounce them off each other. And then you see on social media, he's posting, this dish that you and him collaborated on as his weekend special. It gives you a pretty good reward.
It's exciting. I mean, the more you can make your customer the hero, and make his job easier, the better for you, right? The relationship's going to grow stronger. And hopefully, if you're there working for him, he's going to take you along with him as you go.
Absolutely.
Talk to me a little bit about, on a personal level, what Revere has meant for you these past 5 or so years, and why Revere is more than just a business opportunity for you and a job. Your personal life, someone who's seen it from start to finish, has taken a big turn too.
Absolutely.
Why has Revere as a family been instrumental in that?
Well, like I mentioned, I wanted that quality of life change. I knew that it was time to make that next step for me personally in my life. So once I became a member of Revere's team, my life did change. Like it's done a complete 180. On a personal note, with my family, from getting married to my faith has grown. It's just given me more time. Whereas before it was day in, day out, daily grind, till 2, 3, or 4 o'clock in the morning. And then, what bar am I going to go to and unwind for a couple hours and then go to sleep, wake up and do it all over again the next day. But coming into Revere, it's made me grow up a little bit. It's made me more of a professional, where, I have something that I'm proud to go to every day. It's not just a paycheck,
Sure.
And it's changed my life completely. It's gone from where I was dependent on paycheck to paycheck, week to week, just getting by and struggling, to where I actually now have a career, and something that I hope and consider to be a lifetime career.
Sure. What would you say is one of the most eye-opening things you've learned since you started here that's ultimately enabled you to explain what you do better to people who don't know the industry, and relate more to chefs?
I think one of the things I was unaware of even as a chef was the entire process that it takes to get an item, a protein, a steak, whatever the item may be, from start to finish, to the restaurant, to the chef's hands, ultimately onto the plate in front of the diner. Just everything from the buying process to the packing, the receiving, the shipping, the transportation, all of the logistics, just all of the pieces that go in to ultimately, presenting the steak, the protein on the plate in front of the diner at the end of the day.
Sure. It's amazing how much has to go right to execute on a consistent basis that chefs or people that aren't used to this business have no clue.
Right.
everything as far as the fisherman that's on the boat who's stuck in a storm and can't get to dock.
Windy in the Keys.
It's windy in the Keys and can't get product to them.
Right.
Everybody assumes it should just be there like a widget on the shelf. But it's definitely something that I assume you've learned, not just how to explain that makes you better, but also how to deal with the bumps in the road when stuff doesn't go right.
Yes, sir.
Well, Jeff, thanks for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
The new podcast, the first one. And to everybody out there, we'll see you next time, and we're looking forward to it.